technology, breaking news, insight, analysis. You're listening to Whirlwind Radio.
Hi, this is Marcel Sagde. Welcome back to Whirlwind Radio. Today on the show, and this is real, no joke, Windows 95 is back, and this time you can run it on Mac and Linux. I'll tell you how you can go back down memory lane. And we are headed to information apocalypse. But don't panic. Some say the solution is more technology. Before I get into the show today, and we do have an exciting one lined up for you, I just wanted to say thanks to Jonathan Mansour for filling in for me last week while I was away, soaking up some sun. The New York Public Library, an essential provider of free books, information IDs, and education for all New Yorkers, for more than 100 years is doing something unprecedented. It is now using Instagram's Stories feature to make classic novels more accessible and enticing to read, especially to the younger generation. It has teamed up with an ad agency, Mother, in New York, to create instant novels, which turns classic pieces of literature into animated digital novels illustrated by various visual artists. These digitalized versions take inspiration from the layouts of original classics, featuring elements that reflect the novel's designs. The full digital books will be posted as stories, and the way to use this is simply hold the screen to read a page and then lift your finger to turn it. And if you're a fast reader, just let it play on its own and you can watch the animated elements move on the screen. Instant Novels is launching today at the time of recording on the library's Instagram account, starting with Alice in Wonderland by Lewis Carroll. And over the next couple of months, it will release the digital versions of The Yellow Wallpaper, a short story by Charlotte Perkins, and The Metamorphosis. You don't have to worry about missing any of them either, because they will be collected as highlights, which will serve as the account's bookshelf of sorts, so you can find them anytime you want or to read them again at a later date. If you want to check out the New York Public Library's promo on instant novels, I'll put a link of their promo on Instagram in the description below. Perhaps it's time for more developers to get their foot in the door and to create a platform for millions of people to enjoy. I recently saw the news as well that Walmart is looking to start an ebook platform, so they are getting into this game as well. So you can learn more about this new way to tell a story by searching for the hashtag Instant Novels. Welcome back. If you were in a nostalgic kind of mood today, perhaps rewatching the 93 CGI breakthrough classic Jurassic Park or listening to your favorite boy band, the Backstreet Boys, you've tuned into the right radio show because we're about to take you back to 1995. Windows 95 is an operating system that's now used as a yardstick for what's possible on modern devices and platforms. And we've seen how Microsoft's popular OS appeared on the Apple Watch, also an Android Wear smartwatch, and even on the Xbox One. But today, someone has gone a step further and made Windows 95 into an app that you can run on macOS, Windows, and Linux. During the time of Windows 95, people poked a lot of fun at this operating system because it was so slow and it would crash very often. I remember jokes like, computers are like air conditioners. They stop working properly if you open Windows. And also, Windows 95, plug and pray. The nice thing about Windows, it does not just crash. It displays a dialog box and lets you press OK first. Alright, so those are some old jokes about Windows 95. And I remember my days with Windows 95 as well. That was the first operating system that I've used. And as I've said, it was so slow. There were times when it would just freeze, even when working on a simple Wordpad, Notepad, Word document. And when you get to playing games on it, it was so much worse. But back then, though, since we didn't know better, we thought that this is how computers were supposed to run. They have to compute a lot of information, so it does take a lot of time to do so. But today, we know differently. Alright, getting back to the story. A Slack developer created a Windows 95 app where you can use Wordpad, the phone dialer, MS Paint, and Minesweeper. And they all run pretty well on this app, except for Internet Explorer, which is not fully functional. The cool thing about this app, it's only 129 megabytes in size, and you can download it over at GitHub for both macOS and Windows. And once it's up and running, surprisingly, it only takes up about 200 megabytes of RAM, even when running all of the old Windows 95 system utilities, apps, and games. And of course, if you run into any issues or so with the app, you can always do a reset of the Windows 95 instance inside the app and start over again. So put aside your High Sierra or Windows 10 and enjoy this quirky trip down memory lane. And now for our final story, and this one was from The Verge. It's called "The Browser Plugins That Spot Fake News Show the Difficulty of Tackling the Information Apocalypse." According to some, the world is headed toward an information apocalypse, a combination of AI-generated fakes, fake news gone wild, and faltering confidence in the media means soon no one will be able to trust what they see or hear online. But don't panic yet, says a subset of these prophets, for a solution is already at hand: more technology. This week, 2 projects were unveiled that are intended to act as buffers between the world and fake news. The first is called SurfSafe, and this was created by a pair of UC Berkeley undergrads. The second, Reality Defender, is the work of the AI Foundation, a startup founded in 2017 that has yet to release a commercial product. Both projects are browser plugins that will alert users to misinformation by scanning images and videos on the web pages that they're looking at and flagging any doctored content. Now, the CEO of AI Foundation says that his team was motivated to create the plugin because of the escalating fears over misinformation, including AI-generated fakes. And he went on to say that they felt that we are at that threshold of something that could be very powerful but also very dangerous. And you can use these tools, he said, in a positive way for entertainment and fun. But a free society depends on people having some sort of agreement on what objective reality is. And then he went on to say, so I do think we should be scared about this. Now, they're not the only ones. Over the past year, a growing number of initiatives have been launched with the aim of helping us to navigate the post-truth world. Of these 2 plugins, SurfSafe's approach is simpler. Once this is installed, users can click on pictures, and the software will perform something like a reverse image search. It will look for the same content that appears on trusted sources sites and flag well-known doctored images. Now, Reality Defender promises to do the same, and this plugin is yet to be launched, but in a more advanced manner, using machine learning to verify whether or not an image has been tinkered with. Both plugins also encourage users to help out with this process of identifying pictures that have been manipulated or so-called propaganda. The 2 approaches are very different. SurfSafe leans heavily on the expertise of the established media outlets. Its reverse image search is basically sending readers to look at other sites' coverage in the hope that they have spotted the fake. And according to SurfSafe, they said that we think there are groups doing a great job of fact-checking content, but we want users to get information at a click of a mouse. Reality Defender, on the other hand, wants to use the technology to automate this process. So here we see that we have been hearing a lot about fake news. And as SurfSafe just said there, we think that there are groups that are doing a great job of fact-checking, but we want users to get that information at the click of a mouse. And by using this reverse image search, users can go back to other sites to see and compare that content and see if it's fake or not. Now it brings up that question, could this hurt lesser known media agencies who don't have the web presence to be deemed verifiable in this case? For example, if you compare top media sources today, like CNN and Fox News and NBC, ABC and so forth, if they're carrying a news, readers can be able to go back and verify that. They'll be able to spot if it's fake news or not. But say a lesser known media is carrying a news that is real, but because this news has not been distributed to the rest of the media outlets, would that be considered as not being real news? So the point here is, are these plugins just geared to reputable media sources, or would it cover other sources as well? And who would be the ones who could say whether news is truth or it's fake? And where do we draw the line when it comes to that? With that, we've come to the end of Whirlwind Radio for this week. Don't forget to get Windows 95 app, and then you can go back down memory lane with Minesweeper, Pinball, and so on. We'll place a link to all the stories that we've covered here today in the description below. From the rest of the team here at Whirlwind, this is Marcelo Sagdeo saying stay safe in the technology whirlwind.